Hey everybody, welcome back to another Craft Break Live. My name is Emma Pniewski. I'm a content creator here at Plaid, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these sweet little mason jars. We stenciled a fall leaf and then we masked it to create this really cute mason jar that is perfect for fall, and I'm really excited to be incorporating one of my favorite products here at Plaid, our FolkArt Terracotta. So if you are new to FolkArt Terracotta, it is a really great acrylic paint. It's a multi-surface formula and it turns just about any surface into a faux terracotta effect. So you can apply this to glass, to metal, to plastic. One of my favorite things to do with our FolkArt Terracotta is to go to my local thrift store and find some really unique and interesting shaped vases and things like that, little sculptures, and then paint terracotta on them so that they look really chic and modern, and they have that textured faux terracotta finish. You could also paint this on terracotta. If you want to take a regular terracotta pot and update it with a new color but still keep that terracotta texture, then you can paint it with any of these beautiful colors that you see to the side of me here. So let's go ahead and get started, you guys. I'm going to show you guys a lot of great techniques to use with this craft today. So hopefully you will learn something new by the end of our live stream. So to follow along, you're going to want to have a blank jar. Ooh, I'm using these mason jars today, but you can use any clear glass jar that you want. Of course, you'll need your FolkArt terracotta. We're also going to take some faux leaves. So this is a really fun aspect of this craft that we're going to be doing. You can hunt in your backyard or your front porch for your very own fall leaves, very inexpensive. Or you can go to your local craft store, or maybe you have a stash already of some faux leaves or some faux florals that will be great for tracing onto our adhesive stencil blanks. So this is a really great product that we have. If you are a stenciler, or if you want to get into stencils but you can't find a stencil that has the typeface or the shape that you want, then this is a great thing to pick up, because all you have to do is sketch something onto the stencil blank, and then, like you can see here, you can make any type of shape or pattern or font that your heart desires. So that's what we're going to be using today. And then to work with our stencil blanks, you're going to want to have a pencil or a piece of chalk, something like that, and then either an X-Acto knife or a sharp pair of scissors, and then a brush. So the reason that we want our vase to be clear is because at the end we're going to put some cute little tea lights in here so that when you light them, it really sets the ambiance for fall and you get those warm, cozy fall feelings. Okay, so let's pick out what color we're going to use. We're kind of going with this muted, earthy, neutral color palette for fall, which I love. And so just to show you guys a different color, still very fallish. I feel like a lot of these terracotta colors are fall inspired just in their nature because they're those really beautiful earthy tones. I'm going to be using Ocean Cavern. So I'm going to set that one aside, and let's go ahead and start working with our stencil blank. So I'm going to take this little leaf here. This is just a faux leaf that I got at the craft store. I'm going to flip it so that it is on its flattest side, just so we really get the full shape that we want. I'm going to take my pencil, and then I'm just going to trace my leaf shape.
Hey Emma, I have a question for you.
Sure.
This is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but is there anything that we need to do to treat or clean our glass before we put terracotta on it?
Yeah, that's a great question, Stephen. I'm glad you asked that. So yes, just like if you were to be crafting with, most crafts with glass, you definitely want to clean it, and that goes for glass, ceramic, metal, before you apply our FolkArt terracotta. So the best way that I've found to clean glass is to use some isopropyl alcohol, some rubbing alcohol, or to clean it with some warm soap and water. Okay, so you guys can see there, we traced our little leaf shape. And so now what we want to do is I'm going to cut it down to size so that it's a little bit easy to work with. But we want to keep in mind that we don't really care if the inner shape gets messed up because that is the part we're going to remove and not keep. We want this outline to be nice and intact. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm saying the opposite. So we're going to want to keep this inner shape, and we're just going to trace along our sketch that we made, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a backward stencil. Okay, we'll set our scraps aside. Okay, so now we're going to find a nice flat-ish, not really flat because it's rounded, side of our vase. And it has this backing on it, so we're going to remove our backing and then place it where we want it to live. And then I'm just going to smooth it down with my fingers and make sure that all of your stencil is really attached on there so that no terracotta paint can sneak underneath. Okay, so now that our leaf shape is nice and in place, I'm going to take out my plate here. And again, this is one of my favorite colors of terracotta. We're going to be using Ocean Cavern. It's this really beautiful deep blue color. So one of my favorite parts about our FolkArt terracotta is that the opacity is just so amazing. It's really a one and done type of craft, which is very satisfying. And the reason partially for that is because the paint is so textured. And so you don't really have to worry about smoothing it out that much because, you know, it does self-level a little bit, but also we like to have that texture because it is so reminiscent of real terracotta.
Yeah, even if you don't have terracotta paint at home to try and test with, when you hear Emma touch the mason jars themselves, you can hear the texture. Like it really sounds like terracotta too. It's really impressive.
Definitely. I mean, your friends and your family will be fooled and really think that whatever you paint with terracotta paint is real terracotta. That's how incredible it is. And this is another great craft, something else I want to mention. You know, this is the time of the year where a lot of crafters are making things to sell in markets. They're making multiples of things, and this is one of my favorite products to talk about around this time of year because this is a really, really great product where you can go to the thrift store and find a bunch of different shaped glass and ceramic and vases and sculptures and make a ton of beautiful sculptures and vases with FolkArt terracotta, and you really are refurbishing them because they look so expensive and so chic and so modern. So this is a really great product if you are a crafter who goes and, you know, sells at those craft fairs. This is a really great product to pick up and test out and see what you think. Okay, so you guys can see just how quick that was, and it's fully opaque, which is pretty impressive.
So did you leave a spot in the middle so that it'd be easier to find your stencil underneath the paint?
That was not intentional, Stephen, but I definitely did, so I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the big reveal. Ta-da! So we're left with that really sweet leaf shape. So you can make a ton of these with a bunch of different leaf shapes. You can really do any type of shape you want. This would be so fun to do for Halloween. We have blacks and greens and some really beautiful burnt oranges to create some more Halloween inspired ones. Maybe you do a little cat face and a little pumpkin shape. Really the possibilities are endless with this craft. There's so many different ways that you could do it to fit your own personal style and your own home decor. So, you guys, that was super simple and sweet, but I hope that you learned something and I hope that you enjoyed following along with me today. If you're interested in our FolkArt terracotta, then you can find it on plaidonline.com, and you can also find all of the information that you would want to know about terracotta, as well as some more project ideas and inspiration that we have created with our FolkArt terracotta. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today.